Hello students. So today in this session we are going to learn about a chapter control and coordination. So in this session I'll be introducing this lesson. I'll give a brief introduction to this lesson and we'll try to understand some of the concept and some of the definitions which will help out for us to understand the deeper knowledge about control and coordination. When you look at the title of the lesson, Control and Coordination, a question arises in your mind. What is control and what is coordination? No doubt, these two words are not unknown to you. They are familiar to you. So, in this chapter, if I say control means to influence. In a simpler way, to understand this chapter, you have to understand whenever the word come control, it implies to influence. Now the next word is coordination. So coordination means the working together of various organs of an organism, it may be plants or it may be animals, in a systematic manner. So when you club these two words, when you club the control and coordination, we are going to get a definition for this. That is, the working together of various integrated body system in response to change in surrounding for maintenance of body function is known as control and coordination. This is a simpler way you can write down. My dear students, some of the things I have not at all written in the slide. It's mandatory that you have to use your pen and a notebook and you are supposed to remember all these points. So control means influence, to influence, and coordination means working together of the various organs of an organism in a systematic manner. When you club these two words, you are going to get a definition. If you want, I'll repeat. The working together of various integrated body systems in response to change in the surrounding for maintenance of bodily function is known as control and coordination. Now the second point, what will come in our mind? Why we should study this control and coordination? What is the need of control? What is the need of understanding this control and coordination? It's very important. Need is very important. Unless and until we will not at all in need of anything, we will not have importance of that thing. When we are thirsty, we are in need of water. Yeah? When we are hungry, we are in need of a food. In the same way, you should know what is the need of understanding this control and coordination. First need is organism in direct contact with its environment. Everybody know that we the organisms are directly in contact with environment. So whatever change it is going to happen around us or surrounding to us will have a direct influence on our body. I hope I am clear. We the organisms are directly in contact with environment. So any changes which is going to occur, which is going to surround us will have a direct influence, direct control on its body. And the second need, to maintain the balance between the environmental factors and body function, there is a need of such system that work for the welfare of organism. This is the most important need of control and coordination. So, in animals, two kind of coordination takes place. When you look at the animals, there are two kinds of coordination which are going to take place. One is nervous, another one is chemical. Fine. The nervous coordination is brought about by nervous system and chemical coordination is brought about by endocrine system. So these two things in this lesson you are going to study in deep, that is nervous system and endocrine system. My dear students, I am repeating, in animals coordination are of two types. One nervous, another one is chemical. If I take an example of lower organism, lower animals like hydra, or if you take an example of insect, coordination is through nervous system. These are the lower organism. When you come to the higher organism or higher animals like vertebrates, the coordination takes place through both nervous system as well as endocrine system. I hope I am clear. So this is a brief introduction to control and coordination lesson. So now we'll move on to understand about the nervous system. So to understand about the nervous system, you might have studied about the nervous system already, like it is composed of specialized cells called neuron. To understand those neuron, I want to tell you some of the things which you have to learn before understanding the neuron. That is stimulus, which I have written on your slide. Look at the word stimuli or stimulus. This is also a known word. Okay? The change in the environment to which living organism respond are called stimuli. Whatever changes are going to occur in an environment in which living organism is going to respond, that is called stimuli. Simple examples like heat, cold, sound, smell, taste, touch, pressure, gravity, water, etc. Living organism respond to stimuli in the form of body movement. As I quoted examples like heat, a simple example like heat, you might have observed this many times. When you enter into your bathroom, a bucket full of water is there. You don't know whether it is a cold or hot. If it is, when you put your hand into the bucket, if it is really very hot, you are going to withdraw that. That's your response, and the hot water is the stimuli. You might have observed your mama is cooking in the kitchen and unknowingly she leave the spoon in the cooking vessel. You will enter in the kitchen and you will hold the spoon unknowingly. You are not at all known that it is a hot or it is a normal. When you touch the surface of the spoon, you are going to withdraw your hand. These are the changes. These are the changes you are going to notice in the environment, and on these changes the living organisms are responding. Responding in the sense you are withdrawing your hand. That is an important aspect called stimuli. Now, as I said, you coordination for a proper response to a stimuli, many organs in the body should work together. As I said just now, there is a stimuli which is going to occur any time in our surrounding. For this stimuli, there should be a proper response. Yes? For that response, that organs of our body should work together. The working together of various organs in an organism to produce a proper response to a stimuli is called coordination. Already I have said you in a different form. This way, if this is easy for you, you can note it down. In animals, control and coordination is done by, as I said you, nervous system and endocrine system. And in plants, control and coordination is done by chemical substance called plant hormones and phytohormones. I hope this is clear to you. You should understand before understanding the nervous system or the endocrine system. These are the things you should be clear it of. That is how control and coordination is going to occur in animals and how control and coordination is going to occur in plants. Okay, let me move further to understand coordination in animals. When you look at the slide, I have put up A, B, C, D. There are certain words like receptors, effectors, sensory nerves and motor nerves. So as you pass on, we are trying to understand the two kinds of coordination in higher animals, that is nervous and chemical. So to understand those things, you should understand these things very clearly. In animals, control and coordination is done by nervous system and endocrine system. The nervous system consists of, everybody know, it consists of brain, spinal cord and nerves. So to understand deep, we should understand first one, that is receptors. Receptors are the sense organs which receive the stimuli and pass the message to the brain or spinal cord through the sensory nerves. So what are receptors? They are sense organs. Everybody know what are your sense organs? Can anybody tell me which are your sense organ? How many sense organs are there? There are 5 sense organs. Which are those? Eyes, tongue, nose, ear, and the largest one is your skin. Fine? So these are the receptors. They are going to receive what? They are going to receive the stimuli. And whatever stimuli, they have to pass it to whom? To the brain or to the spinal cord through sensory nerves. Examples I have quoted like photoreceptors in eyes to detect light, phonoreceptors in the ear to detect sound, olfactory receptors in the nose to detect smell, gustatory receptors in the tongue to detect taste, tango receptor in skin to detect touch. Fine. So in our next class we are going to study in detail or in depth about all these things. Thank you very much.